MAA Mitch. Say hello, Mitch.
Hello? I like zoned out for a second there.
It's alright. I'm actually going to, once I start the game, there's a bit of an intro thing to it, so I'm going to disappear and do all of that other stuff. If you just want to talk to yourself for a minute or two, go for it. I'll be right back.
Aprisionado, insufrir dos poderes e conhecimentos de 72 demônios. Estes demônios, como Falak, Bael, Paimon, Asmodeus, Belial, Gaá e vários outros, puderam ser usados em rituais do ocultismo, bruxaria e magia. Dizem até que foi assim que se deu o início da Goethe, Wicca e várias outras sociedades secretas que existem até hoje. Na década de 30 em São Paulo, um crime chocou a aristocracia da cidade. Uma família inteira da alta sociedade foi encontrada morta em um crime envolto de mistério. O crime nunca foi solucionado e dizem que essas almas ficarão aprisionadas até o dia que encontrarem justiça. O castelinho que fica na esquina da Rua Apa, com a Avenida São João, já foi palco de muitas lendas urbanas,
forget things like VODs exist, and then I'll realize that I spent like 10 minutes because nobody's watching. I spent 10 minutes saying nothing.
Okay. Hang on, Spidey's there as well, so I'll just ask him. First of all, how are you, Spidey? And second of all, what's the sounds like from what you can see here? Because I can't turn the game sounds down or off on this. Hang on, I better turn that off, otherwise it's going to be annoying. I'm just waiting on a reply from him. Oh, I didn't even think about the chat. It's not bad, I can hear you guys. Oh, okay, awesome. That's good. Okay. And you can hear Mitch as well, fine?
Can you hear me? Oh.
He said he can hear you guys, so I guess he meant you as well.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done anything relating to streaming, so it's kind of got to get back into the swing of it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just doing the poll now, so just bear with me for a moment. Actually, I don't know how to spell doxing. Is that one or two X's?
It's 2 X's.
Okay, good. I'm not totally stupid. Okay, so just doing that. Alright, so the poll started, I think. Sorry, that was just thinking of a question right off the cuff. I wish I could turn around and do these things. Use R to turn around. Alright, we turn around, press X to try. I want to get out. Alright. So, yeah, well, thank you for asking, Mitch. Spidey saying, what's up, Mitch? And spend some time answering to him while I set up that other stuff. I'll be back.
So for most of today, I've just been kind of sitting around doing nothing. I spent a lot of today with a pretty bad migraine, sadly, but overall I've been doing pretty well. How about you, Spidey? I guess I'm gonna have to pull up the stream real quick so I can actually see what's going on in the chat. 1 second. Alright, I got the stream. Yeah, I spent a lot of today just playing Terraria. I think it was around 7 hours yesterday I was playing and didn't make any progress, which sucked. At the current moment, because I do not believe this is a multiplayer game, I'm just playing Ultimate Custom Night on my console, because I haven't played this in a while and I want to see if it's as fun as I remember. Use mask. I forgot it's flipped. Post forward.
Okay, sorry about that. Let's put the headphones on. We're trying to escape, it looks like. How do we escape? Oh, I'm out. Okay, so I mentioned to you, I've been good, I didn't do anything either, I was just chilling the whole time. Okay, so we've got a few topics to talk about today, but as per usual, if you want to suggest anything else, go ahead. So I want to start by going on a tiny little rant about the referendum. Sorry if it's a bit boring for our non-Australian audience, but the results are in, and should I remind you? I suppose I'd remind you. They were wanting to change the constitution to include our, what do they call themselves now? First Nations? They still call themselves Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders. And the only thing I really want to talk about here is, and it doesn't just apply to the Constitution or a referendum, it's more about making assumptions. What's this say? Interact with what? Okay. Making assumptions about why people do things. And the reason I say that is I asked a few people how they voted, and it was both yes and no to change the Constitution. But the reasoning they gave was quite varied, and I certainly chose, I'll be honest, I said no, but it was for a very specific reason that had nothing to do with Aboriginals or Torres Strait Islanders. Well, this is a thing, Spidey. I think we have a pretty good community in Australia as well, but once the votes came in, the Yes Party started to claim that we're a really racist country, which just isn't. Yeah, there's racism here, but it's not that bad. Having said that, I do believe that a certain percentage of the votes voted no because they're racist, and they just thought, well, we're not going to help Aboriginals, why should we? But likewise, there's probably an equal percentage that voted no without really thinking about it. So one example, I spoke to a much, much older person that just said, look, when you get to my age, we don't like change, and why have this thing in our constitution that separates the races? Like, it's equality for all, and you shouldn't do things that separate the races. So he wasn't being racist saying that. He was just saying, no, it's wrong to do that. Everyone should be under the same law, same constitution, and I couldn't disagree with that. Now, I spoke to someone on the yes side, and they said, well, they voted yes because a popular Aboriginal football player said to vote yes, which is plays for his team. So not really well thought out, you know. And then I guess one other thing to highlight there is when the stats came out, 4 of the most heavily populated areas that had a high percentage of Aboriginals, they voted no. So I guess that says something. You know, if the Aboriginals themselves don't want it, or a percentage of them don't want it, and that percentage happens to be a high population area, then you'd think we've actually, I can't see anything there, then we've actually done the right thing. So to conclude, the reason I voted no had to do with the law itself. They were trying to reduce or erode the separation of powers, just like I mentioned in the last stream. It sounds like it was more of a political gambit to give politicians more power and reduce the... does anyone even know what I'm talking about with the separation of powers? Do you know what I'm talking about, Mitch?
No.
Okay, so you've got the same thing in your constitution. When it comes to a democratic country, they'll often have the same principles, which is you have the three types of powers that run your country: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. And all that means is the executive is like the minister, what do you call them? Congressmen, I think in America. We call them ministers. And
Congressmen would be
they're the highest level of representation in America. Is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
I think next level down would be Senate.
Oh, yeah, okay. And that would be equivalent to... no, we have a Senate as well. We do, so I'm not sure how that works. Sorry, I'm not super versed in politics. But anyway, so you have the executive that is at the higher level. The legislative is the branch of government that actually creates law, like legislation. And then the judiciary is the court system. And the Constitution is designed to make sure that these powers are separate and that they have a check and balance system between them, so that no one power gets any stronger than another power, if that makes sense. And what they were trying to do with this referendum was erode the separation between the legislation and the executive. So, Fitness Frank is there. Good to see you as well. How have you been? My conclusion is, don't come to conclusions when people do things without asking them, why did you do that? The automatic assumption that anyone that voted no is racist is absolutely ridiculous. And I would argue that people that voted no in this instance, actually, not all of them, like I said, there would be a percentage that didn't think about it, but there was certainly a percentage of Australians that were thinking about the ramifications. And that's why I think the referendum didn't pass. And they went about it the wrong way as well. Like, I'm sure it could have worked if they had what we call bipartisan support, where basically everyone agrees that this is a good thing to do. I'm lost already, by the way. I don't know where we are. Red's there too. Hi, Red. So just for Filthy Frank and Red, we've got a special guest today. Mitch is here, so I've been doing most of the talking, but he can get in at any point.
And I've been letting him rant.
Sorry, you've been...
I've been letting you rant. It's a bit weird to be on the opposite side of the chat, to not be the one.
It is, isn't it? When I've done that as well, just chatting to people that are doing live streams, I find it very unusual because I'm not used to doing that. So I do get what you're saying, Mitch. And if anyone's paying attention to where I'm going, please let me know, because I have no idea. It is hard to concentrate. All right, so we've got that going. Now, what was the other stuff I said I was going to talk about, Mitch? I can't even remember already.
Sniperwolf.
Sniperwolf. That was the reason for the poll there. All right, so where do we even begin? I guess the first question I'd raise to everyone is, do you think deplatforming is okay, or permanent banning is okay?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because I don't know if you're aware, but YouTube finally responded to the whole situation, and they claimed that they've temporarily demonetized Sniper Wolf, which, given how much money she has already made on the platform and how much she'll make in the future, I don't think that was any kind of punishment whatsoever. And then when people looked into it, apparently her channels were still monetized. So, did that really work? No. Yeah, so first I'll ask your thoughts, Mitch. Do you think it's okay to deplatform if you've got someone that's proven time and time again that they're not the greatest character?
I think that's very situational, but with people like Sniper Wolf, it's their platform, and YouTube definitely has the right to kick her off the platform. It's their platform. I don't think YouTube's ever going to come even close to doing that because Sniper Wolf brings in so much money for them.
Yeah.
She's one of YouTube's biggest money makers because she makes content that appeals to like very young viewers, and young viewers will watch things over and over.
That is true. So Spidey was asking, what did Sniper Wolf do? So if we're talking about the most recent controversy, she doxed another channel and did it on her Instagram that had 5 million followers. So she basically went to the guy's house in the middle of the night and posted a poll, should I go to his house? And I guess enough people said yes, so she did. And
she also actively threatened him in the post. Let's handle this like adults or something like that.
Yes, and on top of that, her behaviour the following days after all of this proved that she really didn't think she was doing anything wrong. And I personally think doxing is very serious. It should be a very serious crime because it's very dangerous. But it seems to only be illegal in certain states in America, for example. And it's not illegal here at the moment, as far as I'm aware. I don't think we've had any change in the legislation. So she did all of that, and it wasn't until there was so much outrage on YouTube from other creators saying this is just unacceptable. And calling for her to be taken off the platform. So that's sort of the more... She's come out and apologised, but it doesn't really seem like a genuine apology if you look at what she was doing in the days afterwards. So she posted a picture of her and her sister with the comment like, we're going to your house, what will you do now, sort of thing. And I think she was trying to make it like, well, they're two attractive small girls, should you really be afraid of them? Which really misses the point. It's not what she would do, it's what her possible fans would do, But having said that, if you go back to her other controversies, maybe she would do it, because one of her earliest ones was she has criminal charges against her that are very serious. We're talking... what was it? Assault with a deadly weapon or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of those.
No.
All I know is that she refused to see a cancer patient, like a Make-A-Wish, which...
Yep.
It's not good, but I guess it's her choice.
Yes.
I can somewhat understand that, but I believe she also has gotten into trouble in the past for saying some really awful slurs.
Yes, which is true too. She's also attacked other YouTubers in the past, particularly girls. So she likes to basically, she doesn't do it anymore. Again, this was in the past, but she would attack these other females and call them out for doing all of the stuff that she actually does. So, for example, she'd say, oh, you're fake, you've had plastic surgery, this, that, and the other.
And I know what you're talking about.
She's also had work done. So if you look at her when she was 19, just have a look at her lips. for example, she's got kind of thin lips, but if you look at her now, she's had the work. It can be argued that her nose has been done as well, and she was attacking other people for that. So again, I'd say, I said to you pre-stream, Mitch, that if you have a look at the Nerd City essay on her, that goes into all of that stuff. So there's that as well. Then there's the Omegle stuff, which isn't well known yet. Have you heard of that? Do you know about
I know she does. I know there's a lot of stuff people do on Omegle. Like, Doja Cat is back in trouble again because she would go on, like, a racist Omegle servers and, like, show people her feet.
Yeah, yep, that's another one. So, well, she still, to this day, sexualizes her content. You know, she's a pretty girl. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, if you look how she dresses, it's often provocative. But back in those days, no, it was worse than that. She was talking to minors on Omegle and getting them to do sexual things. So I'm not kidding. I've actually seen those videos. She's deleted them now. But there was one other YouTuber that had been looking into it. That's how I found out about it. And there's one particularly bad one where I'm pretty sure that girl was not of age, and she did flash Sniperwolf.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, she was 16.
Oh, she was 16, so there you go. And another one that had 2 boys in it that she was getting to twerk. And I think, you know, who really... There are people that will do that, and there are people that won't, like me. I'm always a little bit scared interacting with our audience because they are young and they do listen to what we have to say. And, you know, we've got to try and be good role models rather than doing that sort of stuff. So my point in going, and there's probably a lot more that we don't know yet. People are digging now. But what I'm would conclude is that there's such a consistent pattern of bad behaviour. Regardless of how much money she makes YouTube, do you really want someone like that on the platform? She's not going to change. Even with the recent controversy, as I said, the apology that she gave came after a whole lot of other stuff that was not good. You know, taunting Jack's films and trying to play the victim and all of this kind of stuff. So do you think she's really sorry, or she's just doing it because YouTube's kind of punished her? So
I think YouTube really is screwing themselves over here with not doing anything about it because it's showing people that they don't care.
Exactly.
And people don't want to side with YouTube anymore.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's siding with YouTube except for Sniperwolf and her fans, from what I've seen. There are some that are saying deplatforming is going too far, but often the people that are saying that are of similar character. I'll put it that way. I seem to keep walking around this map and not getting anywhere. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. I haven't found anything, haven't seen anyone. Now, hang on, let me just catch up with the live chat. So, I heard she's being featured in a Dharma. Yeah, I did see that as well, Spidey, that she was in a Dharma.
She's been quite a few of those, yeah.
Right. Yeah, the Make-A-Wish kid, that's right.
Which, funnily enough, one of those videos was an anti-bullying, or actually multiple of those were anti-bullying videos, which is quite ironic with how she's been acting recently.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? It's I think Spidey put a really good summary in the chat there. I mean, that is example after example of someone that just doesn't seem to be a decent person at all. And because she has so much influence online, that's where you gotta make the question. Peter, you have birds? No, but you might hear them from outside. I've been asked that a lot. So I must have a good microphone if it can pick up the birds outside. Is it? No, yeah, there is. There's birds. So that's that. But then the next thing is she's not the only creator that has been able to get away with really, really scandalous things, and they're still online and they're still monetized. So again, what do you think? Mitch, you sort of started saying deplatforming. Would you say no to it ever, or depends on the circumstances, or?
I think it's circumstantial. Companies and platforms should have the right to deplatform people because it's their own private company, but I don't think it's always the best option, no.
Yeah, well, that's true too. What about sort of 3 chances and you're out? How about that?
The 3 strike system, it still has its issues because of how easily exploitable it is, especially with copyright.
Okay, so don't have the copyright. We're just talking about community guidelines.
Have you seen how some people have made millions by just lying and saying they own things for copyright, and then they thousands and thousands of videos, they just steal all revenue?
Yes, that is deplorable behaviour, and certainly the copyright system does need to be fixed. I've seen it time and time again where people get unfairly struck as a result of that. But in this case, we're sort of talking more about the creator breaching community guidelines, because you can get strikes for that as well. And, you know, based on what Spidey's just put in the chat, she's breached community guidelines multiple times. And she's not the only creator like that. There are certainly a lot of them out there. I've mentioned a few times before this character, Anision, that I became aware of him many years ago when I first started watching YouTube, because he was constantly being recommended, but not my kind of content. Watched a few seconds of a video and said, don't get why this guy's so popular. Now he's gone through the ringer completely, pretty much lost his fan base and so on, and he posted a video like 6 months ago saying that he was no longer going to be on YouTube, but he's done that hundreds of times before, and he always comes back. And he's back again after a 6 month or almost a year hiatus. A guy like that, I'll straight out say, should not be on the internet. He's committed so many atrocities since he's been online that he just shouldn't be on YouTube. And the vast majority of people on YouTube that have come to learn of who he is would all agree with that. They think that he is not good for the platform. So I don't know what the answer is, but I do think if you've already made that amount of money, just because you make a lot of money for YouTube doesn't mean that you can't be replaced, because that's the attitude YouTube has towards all its creators anyway. They don't really take care of you because they know it doesn't matter if you give up. Someone else will come along to take your place. There's lots of businesses that run like that. I've worked for a lot of companies like that, that you're just a number. They don't care. And if you don't like it, then go. We'll replace you. And I think the same could be said of someone that's even as big as Sniperwolf. She can be replaced quite easily. I did manage to watch half of one of her videos, and other than her really good looks, I don't know what she contributes.
So, sort of on that topic, something with Sniperwolf that really throws me off is she seems quite hyper-sexualized in her videos, which is very gross when you remember her content is geared towards those under the age of around 10.
Yeah, well, that's right. She knows what she's doing. Oh, I will add one other thing to all of this as well, which might even be the biggest controversy of all, about how her career started.
Ooh.
Because I don't know if you're aware, but she's divorcing her, or her husband is divorcing her at the moment. And I saw some of the the statement of claim. And yeah, he was basically saying, when she started off as a gamer, the reason she got so popular then was because it was very rare to have a female gamer that attractive being that good at the games that she was playing. Well, it turns out she wasn't playing them at all. The husband was. And the husband was writing the scripts for her, taught her what to say about the game, like the lingo and all of that sort of thing, and she would just pretend to play while he was doing the actual gameplay. Yeah. So
I know she used to go by, I believe it was Sexy Sniper Wolf or whatever.
Just Sniper.
Just Sniper?
Yeah, so Sexy Sniper, and then I don't know if you know your German history, but an SS sniper is an actual thing. Who cares? It relates to the Nazis. So, not a good look. And that's why, part of the reason why she changed it to Sniper Wolf. But as you've both pointed out, there's a racist element to her as well. So maybe she's all about that. Who knows? So, yeah, this is where I think, I'd say, you look at Red, for example, she's got such a tiny channel, but she's got such a nicer personality, and she puts more effort into her content than Sniper Wolf does. Why not promote Red instead? At least she's a good influence. So, yeah, any conclusions to be drawn? And I'm not sure what Banana Man means there, Red, but I used to watch Banana Man as a cartoon when I was a kid. If you've ever heard of that. It's a good cartoon show. I think I'm just walking around in circles at the moment. And I have no idea what to do. Okay. So, yes, I was thinking of doing a video on this because I really have to upload a video at some point. And sort of change the direction for that. But I can't imagine it's going to be easy to do something like this. I've been in here? Have I been in there? No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe I have. Okay, so did anyone have anything else to say on the Sniper Wolf situation? You, Mitch? Anything else to...
Something with the deplatforming that it kind of reminds me of is... Mini Lad, a YouTuber. He was proven to be a predator and didn't get any consequences with YouTube, even after time and time again he continued to solicit minors.
Is he still on the platform now?
Yes, he's like a 7 million subscriber channel. He's still on.
Wow. So again, that just says, you have someone like, and again, I'm not defending this guy at all, but Leafy is here. He was banned from the platform, and what he was doing was bad. I think he should have been deplatformed as well, but it's not as bad as Mini Lad. So there's no equality there. And Albeza's there. Ciao, Peter. Come sta? Okay, so every now and again, and Karen's there as well. It's good to see you again. How have you been? So just for anyone that doesn't know, Albeza's Italian. She doesn't speak any English. So if you want to help out in the chat, just type a little bit of Italian to her, because she's been extremely supportive. It's an Onision video. So explain that a bit more, Red. Hang on, I'm just going to do the Italian. Okay. Alright, so Sorry, I'm a little bit slow at this. So I guess the point of saying that was, you know, you do have plenty of examples of where creators have been dealt with. It's what made him... Oh, yeah, Banana... That's right. Now I understand, Red. Yeah, the Banana song. That's what made him famous. And he could have done a lot of good with his platform, but he didn't. He did very much the opposite of that. So, and plus, that was another video that I actually wanted to make of... I don't think people are aware of how many channels that guy's got. I did a little bit of research and I found at least 14. So even if you ban one, you're going to be able to ban them all, because he's kind of smart in the way that he sets things up. They might not be linked to each other, so even if he loses one channel, it doesn't mean he'll lose them all. And Sniper Wolf's the same. I didn't realise she had other channels, but she does. So I don't know if this is true or not. This was just from one other YouTuber that said that when she got the temporary demonetization, she just went to the other channel. So she was still making money off that. Yeah, so that's where we're at with that, I guess. I do think that there needs to either be new policies or some sort of introduction in place to keep the community as a whole safe. And if you allow people like Minilad on the platform, or people like Sniper Wolf, who really doesn't think she did anything wrong with the doxing, I firmly believe that based on what she was posting straight after. Yeah, she didn't think she did anything wrong. She felt like she was the victim. Yeah, it's not on. Shouldn't happen.
That poses quite a interesting question of what's going on in her head. Like, how does one justify to themselves possibly ruining another person's life? How does that work?
So, truth be told, this is just my personal opinion from life experience. Really good-looking people often have an advantage in life. They will get treated differently. You will get more concessions for you than other people might have. Not wanting to brag, because I'm not good looking now, but when I was younger, I did notice that sort of thing happened to me a little bit. Not a lot, but a bit. Sometimes girls found me attractive, and if they were working in a cafe or something, they'd give me free stuff. So this is just something that happens in life. Now, if you're a woman like that is extremely good looking and knows it, they often don't have a balanced view of life. So because they've had privilege all of their life, it comes to be expected. Does that make sense? So she thinks she can get away with stuff. She just thinks she can get away with it. And she can do no wrong because people praise her all of the time for whatever reason. So from her psychological perspective, no, I think she honestly believes that she's in the right and that she pretty much can't do anything wrong. There's people out there that are like that. I have some of those people in my life where they will not admit fault for whatever reason. They just can't admit fault. So looks like she's one of them. I could be wrong. You know, this is just my opinion. But I've seen this sort of thing before in real life. Oh, yeah. Geez, I forgot to do something. Oops. Let me just do that. Silly. Yeah, so I don't know. I think in the future something does need to be done, because this will just keep going on. The reality is there are a lot of bad people out there that can be very charismatic and can certainly make a livelihood for themselves online if they choose to do so. But when they get found out for doing deplorable things, that's when you've got to question, well, when do you put the foot down? Because I've seen YouTube cancel or deplatform creators for a lot less than what Sniperwolf's done. You know, I've seen quite a few go that way. The other thing I'll say, maybe in conclusion to this particular topic, is I've even seen channels that are talking about this that aren't involved in the drama on YouTube, that have, you know, they create a niche content that has nothing to do with other creators, but they felt compelled to make videos on it just because they were saying this is just so bad, it's not on, you shouldn't do it. I'm getting nowhere in this game, by the way. I can't
there's a YouTuber I think that'll fit somewhat in this topic. Most people here will probably know Sunny V2. He used to be really popular, but he's not as popular anymore. He didn't really do anything wrong per se.
Well,
but
all right. So I'm a bit biased here because he's an Australian, and I don't like it when Australians get online and do the sort of things that he did. So I came across him when I think he only had like 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers. So it was before he got big, and I enjoyed a little bit of his content until I realised that he doesn't say very nice things often. The controversy that he was involved in was around that Mr. Beast's friend, right?
Chris.
Yeah.
That's what was going on.
Yeah.
My experience with him is just he doesn't have like good evidence, and it's very easy to zone out while watching him.
Correct.
So you don't realize how like awful a lot of the things he's saying are. Correct.
And that's why I stopped. Well, I didn't really watch him. I think I'd seen 1 or 2 videos, and the second one really annoyed me, that he would say very vindictive things. And it's like, why are you even... sorry, not vindictive, vitriolic. Said very vitriolic things. And it's like, why... If you're doing this essay-type documentary style, you're supposed to be non-biased. You're supposed to just report, you know, treat yourself like a journalist and just report the news. Whereas he takes a very personal approach and makes it very personal. I don't think insulting people gets you anywhere if you're trying to do that. So... I'm kind of disappointed that he got as big as he did, because again, it just goes to show what's his character really like. And I even checked one of his old videos just to see what he looked like. And this is wrong on my part. I shouldn't make assumptions based on looks, but I am going to. When I looked at him talk, it was like, yeah, he just seemed like one of those guys that I went to school with that would say those kind of things behind your back. Very typical, you know, happens all the time. Nothing new to me. Now, I could be wrong. It's just my own personal take on the way he talks. So, again, I'd say, you know, is this you compare him to, say, he's not the best, but do you know Turkey Tom?
Yeah, I've watched a few of his videos. Very similar in style, but they seem more kind of casual in a way.
Yes, as in doesn't really take sides unless... He very rarely... Not rarely. He sometimes gives an opinion and will insult the person, but it doesn't happen a lot. I'm actually trying to think... June the King. I think he's very good at this type of video. And he's small. He's not a big channel at all at the moment. Still 200... And by small, I mean he's still big, but not in the millions yet. So there are really good channels. I'd say if you don't know June the King, compare his essay-style videos to someone like a Sunny V2 or... to a lesser extent, Turkey Tom. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said Turkey Tom because he's not the best example. I think Gene the King is a very good example of how you should do it. And there's another, Jay Aubrey is another good one, I think, that they just present the facts and they don't really go into personal insults whatsoever. So, you know, these are the people that should be promoted on YouTube. And at the end of the day, because I have spent so much time trying to learn about YouTube, I get exposed to a lot of channels. What is this game about? I'm just going in circles. There's no direction. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sure I've been everywhere. But have I been in here? Probably. Where was I? I've lost my own train of thought.
Something about commentary style, like video essay YouTubers. I don't know exactly.
So my point, it sort of ties into you being replaceable. I've come across a lot of channels where I think, how did this person get so big? Like, they're not that entertaining. Their personality is not that strong. What is it that attracts them? And I think at the end of the day, a lot of it does have to do with the promotion by YouTube itself. I've had that experience with Sniperwolf. You do, I think I've mentioned it before, that if you clear all of the cookies on your computer and maybe even go in.
Yeah, Dad? Alright, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to quickly go eat dinner.
Yeah, you're right. That if you go in on incognito mode, maybe there's something here. If you're going in incognito mode, delete all your cookies, sign in as American user, you will find at least 10 videos in your home feed that are Mr. Beast, 10 videos that are Mr. Barlin, 10 videos that are Sniper Wolf. So you can see how they get bigger that way. Now, I'm not saying that they've all got boring personalities. I don't know. I don't watch any of their content. But it's just an example of, well, pick someone that's in the similar genre or you know, same style of platform and start promoting the better person, whoever that may be. Thoughts from the chat, or you're all going very quiet now? They look like they've all gone very quiet. I can move on to the next topic if you like, because I don't know if anyone heard Mitch, but he's just gone for tea. So I'm back on my own again. Dog is doing well. Actually, I should write to Albiza. Albiza. So I like asking Albiza what goes on in her country, because you get a non-biased view. You're hearing from an actual local that will tell you what's what. Or maybe it is biased, I don't know. All right, so next topic. What did I have? I'm all talked out. We talked about the referendum, talked about Sniper Wolf. Here's another thing. It's just from a personal perspective that I may have received a legitimate sponsorship offer. I don't know yet. I'm waiting on a reply to see if that's the case. Can I get in there? And I would like to ask if it is legitimate, and it sounds like if we sign up and we promote things to our audience, you don't actually have to buy anything. You don't have to pay for anything, which is really unique. It's just about the downloads. And from what I can understand, you know, they might say to me, do a promotion for this game, see if you can get some of your audience to download it, and we'll pay you if they download it. which I thought was a fair trade. We wouldn't be asking our audience to do too much, and a lot of them download games anyway, or it might be to take a survey or something like that. Now, I only did maybe half an hour of research before the stream. It does seem like it's a legitimate company. They do have pretty good reviews. So if I was to take it up, would people be interested in supporting us doing that? If you can reply in the chat, be good. Or if you're watching the replay and you've gotten this far into the live stream, let us know as well. Okay, so that's that one. Now, are there any other rants or raves? I did have some stuff prepared, and I was relying on Mitch a little bit, but he's eating now. Yeah, so just thoughts, anyone? Okay, so while we're doing that, I'm sure a lot of people have left the stream just because I am just going around in circles. I have no idea what's supposed to be done. So it won't be the most entertaining of streams at the moment. Oh wow, hang on. Sorry, I've got something else I need to do here too. Got to view that in the control room, insert ads during break. What does that mean? Is it not letting me do it? It's not letting me do it. Okay, sorry, I'm just... Oh man, I've got focus on your live stream and let YouTube insert ads before you turn on. Alright, I'll let them do that. Chris Chan. So, Chris Chan. Looks like you're up to date with a few things too, Red. So, yeah, he's back. What can I say about Chris Chan? I might get into trouble for this because I don't know a huge, like I'm not a, what do they call themselves? The people that follow him, he has a girlfriend now. Really? Are you kidding, Red? Like a legitimate real girlfriend? That's awesome if that's the case. Because, you know, this might be a really unpopular opinion from my end, but I feel very sorry for the guy. I think for most of his adult life and, well, ever since he's been on the internet, put it that way, he has been targeted, and you can say things like he needs to get a job or, you know, learn how to behave correctly and so on, but it is clear that he has mental health issues and, you know, the high functioning autism. I mean, we have a couple of people with autism that join our streams, and they are nowhere near as, can I say, incoherent or just not on the same... I'm really trying to choose the right words here. The guy does have a disability. There is no doubt about that. I don't think anyone can argue otherwise. And, you know, he has been hounded for many, many, many years. Not love his family so much. So, again, the things that I've seen about his family, I've heard when the mother was younger, she wasn't great. When the dad was alive, he wasn't great. There is a brother that I think has nothing to do with the family. He just up and left. So definitely the parents, I think, contributed to Chris's inability to function in society. But they're not solely to blame. Like, as I said, the guy does have psychological issues. And I question, with that whole debacle with his mother, if it's true, then why was he released from prison? If it's not true, which it could quite possibly be the case with him, he lives in a fantasy world. He might have been saying those things because of that, what was her name? Isabella Jenke, I think, who is a deplorable human being. One of the worst, like a seriously evil individual. Yeah, I heard a conversation between her and Chris, and she was encouraging that sort of behaviour from Chris. And so again, I don't know if he was making it all up to make her happy, or if he really did do it, then she played a part in influencing that. I'm not complaining for now. I'm lucky enough to live in a place far from floods, landslides and more, but with the Palestine conflict now by... how I didn't know that Italy was close. I've said many times before that my geography is not good. So, sorry, just bear with me while I type to Albezo. Italy. Okay, just bear with me for a sec. You worried that the conflict may spill over into country. Almost there. Just bear with me. So, with Chris, I think he's actually, well, I can't say he's harmless because you don't know for sure. You don't really know for sure what went on in his house. I think with the right influence, though, he could be trained maybe to be a little bit more aware of what's going on. I mean, I'm not a mental health expert, so it's not like I've got any solutions to what he's got to say. But yeah, what are your thoughts, Red? Do you think it's good for him to be back and out and hopefully being taken care of? To be honest, I haven't looked into it to see whether he's got any caseworkers that help manage his life in the free world. I hope that he has that, where he does have to report to people, and I also hope that they're aware of whatever it is that he's doing online. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that, because yeah, I might have a really bad opinion on it just because I do feel sorry for the guy. I don't know how many out there that do. I'm aware that he often has done some bad things in terms of treating people badly. But again, I don't think he has a social awareness to know any better. I'm not sure that he understands that when he does something wrong, that he understands that it is wrong. I mean, it's that kind of level of psychology. And yeah, Red Eye also, this is the other thing that I've said before with even the worst characters that get hounded offline, that, you know, cancel culture is one thing when it comes to online behaviour, but when it bleeds into the real life, do you really want people to suffer to that degree where they can't get a house? Because there is, and I'm not defending this guy in any way, shape or form, but there's, you know, a character that I think has proven more than once that they shouldn't be online, which is EDP, who is it? EDP 455? But he also got hounded to the point where he was homeless. So what's he supposed to do? I get that you shouldn't be online. I get that you shouldn't have any interaction with minors. But, you know, you don't put him to death. And if the guy can't feed himself or get a job and has nowhere to live, that doesn't seem to fit the crime that he's never been charged with. That's the other thing. He's still yet to be charged, I believe. Or maybe he has. I don't really keep up with him. And Chris is in the same boat. Like, I get that if what he was accused of is true, you shouldn't put him back in the house with his mother. Where is he, by the way, Red? Do you know? Has he gone back home? I heard that he had gone home because his car was out the front of the house or something. Oh, you know Cyrax as well. Okay. So here's another one. There's actually 3 of them that I think are similar. It's Chris Chan, Cyrax, and there's another guy, Cobra. What's his name? JT Cobra or something. And all 3 of them, clearly, they're not, you know, they're not going to have high IQs. There's some sort of mental disability that's going on there, and yet they consistently get picked on. And the reality is, even someone that's, you know, perfectly fine and normal, if you were picked on at school for 12 years at school and then you were picked on again in your adult life, it is going to change your psychology. And in all 3 circumstances, whether it's Chris Chan, whether it's Cyrax, whether it's that Cobra character, all 3 of them, they're suffering, you know, and they become the way. Oh, hello, Tiz. Oh, wow, I'm going to struggle to say this. Tiz Tenlatis from Austria. A retro collector. So are you a collector of retro games or comics, or what's the retro? Oh, yeah, Cobra KA.
Don't mean to interrupt you here. Just wanted to let you know I was back.
Oh, yep, no worries. So we've changed the topic to Chris Chan. Do you know who that is?
Ooh, I know what he did.
Yeah, so we've been discussing that, and also Red December mentioned Cyrax, and then I mentioned Cobra. So these 3 characters online, I do think that they've got some problems. Yeah, we would love to hear about your collection. I hope you don't mind. Can I just call you Tiz? Because I'm really struggling to pronounce that name. So go for it, and I'd be very interested to hear what you have to say. So
another topic I thought might be interesting is true crime and like the ethics of it, especially on YouTube. It feels very exploited.
Right. So I became aware of this as well. Have you ever heard of the Plagued Moth?
No.
Right. So he's a YouTuber that apparently was charging people on his, it was either Discord or Patreon.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Right. So
to see victim photos.
Yes. Now that's disgusting. Like that, it doesn't get much lower than that for you to. Oh, Random's here as well. Good to see you. And Tiz is saying Sega Mega Drive N64. Oh, so you're talking about the old what do you call them? Like game consoles. So like Atari, that was the one I started with. Yeah, I'm not sure whether this is a horror game. It kind of looked like one on the preview, but I am stuck. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I seem to keep going around in... Oh, this is new, is it? Have I been in here before? So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. There hasn't been too much going on in the game. So, yeah, true crime. True crime mukbangs. I get that you can have crossover genres, but to do it in such a light-hearted manner on such a serious topic, yeah, I question that. And, you know, all right, my view is if you're not a journalist, you know, you might want to stay away from that sort of stuff because it is very sensitive topics. Having said that, even if you were to do it, you shouldn't be glorifying, which I've heard some do. You probably know more about it than I do, Mitch, because when I watch the true crime stuff, it's usually documentaries. It's not YouTubers themselves. I'll watch it on YouTube, but, you know, it's an actual TV program as opposed to, you know, one of the, like, there's a channel called Mango something, an Asian-looking girl that does it.
Yeah, there's a lot of true crime stuff on YouTube. It varies a lot in terms of what it's about. There's a YouTuber I quite like, Mr. Ball in it.
Yes, yeah. Go on.
I believe I've talked to you about him before.
Yeah, and I mentioned to you then that I don't watch him because I've watched like one video and it's like, yeah, okay, if I want to watch that, I'll watch the documentary instead.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so again, not my kind of guy, but I get why he is popular. Even one of my friends told me about Mr. Barlin, and I'm like, yeah, I'm aware of who he is. But it's not saying I don't like him. What I don't like is the favoritism, because he is one of YouTube's favorites as well. He gets recommended all the time, even though I scroll past his content, you know, 100 times, he'll still get recommended. And if you do when you went for dinner, I said, you can test this yourself. If you clean your computer of all the cookies and search history and all of that, and then go back onto YouTube as an American in particular, but it works for Australia and UK as well, you'll get the same channels being recommended on your homepage. Mr. Barlin, Mr. Beast, Sniper Wolf. And they'll have at least 10 videos each being recommended. That's what annoys me. It's like, fine if you want to recommend them, but just, there's such limited space, give them one shot. Don't give them 10 shots at it.
The worst thing about that is I've noticed it eventually works. I'll get a YouTube video recommended to me over a week 20 times, and eventually I just go, okay, I'll watch it.
Yeah, well, see, that's the other thing. So, yeah, we were talking about Sniper Wolf before, Tiz. So, man has some big beds for bussons. I don't know what that is. And, yeah, we were talking about Sniper Wolf and I guess drama a little bit. We don't do this in every stream. We'll talk about, you know, whatever people want to talk about. But today it just seemed a bit more relevant to talk about some of the issues on YouTube because it does seem to be a very hot topic at the moment, like what's good and what's not good. So I think profiting with the true crime, I'm not sure what the balance is there, you know, like you just have someone that's reporting on crime and they're making money off it. That's one thing, but again, with the Plagued Moth character, monetizing pictures and things, that's going too far. You shouldn't do that. It shouldn't even be an option for you. And you're quite right, Tiz. Like you also still haven't said if it's okay for me to call you Tiz. Just let me know.
They did. It was an earlier when they talked about their Sega Mega Drive and 64. They said they.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Sorry, I missed that. I've got to put the glasses on. So, yeah, I agree. They are treating them like a favourite child. There's no two ways about it. And I think at some point, money shouldn't play a part. I get that YouTube has to make this is something that maybe a lot of people aren't aware of, that YouTube does have to make a huge amount of money to actually run. And I think there should come a point in time where they address that and go, well, hang on. maybe we shouldn't let, for example, a channel that has, 2 subscribers that gets no views but uploads 10,000 videos and takes up server space. Should you really have this sort of thing on the platform? Because it makes it more costly for YouTube, and then they've got to find money from somewhere, so then they start promoting their favourite children like Sniperwolf. Can do me a favour, can you watch YouTube? I do watch YouTube, so I'm not sure what you're asking there.
So another interesting topic is like popularity of YouTubers like Mr. Beast. What are the effects of that?
So it's not great for other YouTubers that are trying to compete with that, because the reality is, you want to compete with Mr. Beast, you've got to have a lot of money to do it. If you don't have a lot of money, you're not going to be able to compete with him. And they call it the beastification of YouTube. So that's one thing. Now, I've always been a bit of a defender of him because he does good things with his platform. He really does. I mean, to do the trees being planted and clean up the oceans amongst a whole heap of other stuff that he doesn't have to do any of that, But he uses his... he does use his power and his platform to do a lot of good. Is the content good for YouTube? I don't know. I don't watch Mr. Beast. It's not my kind of...
His content, I'd say overall, for even how good and high quality it is, it's kind of tearing down a lot of what made YouTube good in the first place.
Yes. All right. So this is a tough pill to swallow, because what I've noticed is, man, there are a lot of younger creators now that are getting really good at editing. I can't compete with that. Their editing skills are way beyond what I can do. And YouTube at its core from the beginning was more about the creator than anything else. It's in the name, you know. And it should still have the ability for someone like, I'm sorry to use Red as an example again, but Red edits her videos, but she doesn't put any of the fancy stuff in there. There's no special effects. There's no high editing, that should be equally as accessible and promoted. That style of content should be as equally accessible as someone like Mr. Beast. I can see that the biggest problem you'll have with him is if YouTube goes down that path, then it's going to be much more corporate. The individuals won't be able to compete with that anymore. The YouTuber called Pack God did a diss track to Sniperwolf. Yeah, okay, I'll have a look at that, Tiz. I'm always curious to see what people do. Not a huge fan of diss tracks as a whole, unless it's like the rap ones, the old school rap when they're beefing with each other. Yeah. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on Mr. Beast, Mitch? Do you think it's...
I think he does good things. I think he's a good content creator, but I don't personally enjoy his content much anymore. It feels very... Commercial? I don't know how to put it. Kind of, commercial, corporate. It feels very aimed to make as much money in the shortest amount of time as possible.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I can't disagree with that. I believe that's part of his plan. He did want to dominate, and he'll do anything to dominate. Not in a bad way, though. I mean, he's fully aware of how the algorithm works and how to capitalize on it. He's been doing it for a long time now, so whether you love him or hate him, respect to his ability to do that. But yeah, I don't disagree. I do think that... what am I supposed to do in this game? it would be better. Oh, I finally managed to do something. What does this do? What is this? Look. Oh, I opened a music box. Yay. Tis, yeah, off, no worries. So, I'm happy I don't have Twitter. I need to go buy. I'm going to sub. Well, thank you for subbing and thank you for the suggestion. I will check that out after the stream. So, there you go. I don't think you should restrict people from uploading if they're, he's got a lot of money to burn. So if he can do a higher quality thing, then kudos to him. Again, I'd just say, I've said this before too, in a survey that YouTube got me to fill out as a creator, that it was along the lines of, someone like Mr. Beast doesn't need to be promoted on YouTube anymore. He just doesn't. The dude's got how many subscribers?
203 million right now.
He's already over the 200 million mark.
Yeah, he got 200 million quite recently.
You're kidding.
No, well, I'm gonna see when exactly that was. It was quite recently that it was about a week ago.
Right. Well, then that just goes to my argument again that you got 200 million subscribers. Don't promote him anymore. On the homepage I'm talking about. You're going to come across his content sooner or later. It's going to be recommended somewhere down the line. Albiza was just asking, who are you? So... it's one of our supporters.
Another person who kind of fits in the same category as what Mr. Beast is doing right now is Darman. He's kind of making his content as commercial friendly as possible, it feels.
Yes. So I think it was Spidey asked me to look into Darman. We've got a stream that's got him in the thumbnail. So
I remember that one.
Yeah. So with him, I couldn't get into his content at all. To me, it was very... I'm not saying it was, good, bad or otherwise, but I didn't feel that he deserved the accolades that he was getting. He also has a criminal history, so just be aware of that.
Yeah, I watch him kind of ironically because for me it falls into so bad it's funny. It's so overdone and clearly fake that it just kind of has a humor to it.
Yeah, and I think that's, from memory, that's what Kane and Spidey and whoever was watching him at the time, they all said that. It's so bad, it's good sort of thing. And I suppose, it's good that he tries to spread a good message, but the way he does it I don't think is good, because I saw so many instances of where it seemed like success was about how much money you had, and that was all, and you weren't to be respected unless you have a lot of money, and if you're doing YouTube or social media that you have a lot of followers, and that just simply is not true,
So another thing people really have to remember with Darman is at his core, he is a businessman.
Yes.
His channel, he has a ton of business endeavors. His channel was just the one that ended up getting a profit, and that's what he's stuck with. I'm sure there's some, moral, implications with it. He wants to actually help it, but a lot of it is just that this is the business that made him the most money.
Yes, yep, I think so. Are you aware of what he was charged with previously or not?
I know about his controversy with not paying his employees properly.
Right, so that's...
I know he had some controversy like relating to the law, but I'm not sure what it was.
So I hope I've got this right. I don't know the details because I researched it when I did that video. But he had federal charges. Like that, it's serious when it's, we call them indictable offences here, whereas you call it, what do you call it? So we have misdemeanor and indictable offence. You have misdemeanor and felony. He had felony charges. And it was because he'd claimed some sort of government grant to do some sort of business, but the business was a scam and he would basically scam to get that grant. Yeah.
It doesn't fully surprise me.
Yeah, so that dude's all about getting rich and probably at whatever cost, you know. He doesn't seem to treat his employees that well from what I've heard, but again, you know, this is just based on what other...
He pays like less than minimum wage, which, well, around or less than minimum wage, which is a huge deal with acting because there's other places that are willing to pay more. So if you've taken an acting job for that day, even if it doesn't happen, you've lost a ton of money on what could have been a better acting job.
Yeah, well, that's right. And what they also had to stay on set whether they were being used or not, so they couldn't go anywhere. Is that... I heard something about that.
Yeah, it's somewhat like that. It's they've already made the plan that they're going to be at that shoot today, so they can't plan for another shoot, meaning they just lose all profit for that day.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so that's, I don't know, I think for someone that makes as much money as he does, that's not right. I would say compare that to someone like Good Mythical Morning. They must treat their staff really well. If you want to compare sort of treating your staff badly to treating your staff well, the simple rule for this, for the young people out there, is you've got to look at the turnover rate. You've got to look at the attrition rate. If the company is constantly getting new employees because old employees don't want to work there, then that says something about the company. Now, if you look at someone like Good Mythical Morning, they've had the same staff for years now. You're talking decades for some, or decade for some of them. They've been there since they started hiring staff, and they seem to want to stay there. So, you know, best job in the world kind of thing. That's what you would want to strive for. I hope that, you know, if someone like Mitch or Spidey or, you know, Kane's still pretty young, you know, if you end up being in a position where you have a little bit of responsibility for other people, then use it wisely. If you end up employing other people, use that wisely. You know, there's a lot to be said for taking care of your employees. It doesn't mean, you know, putting yourself in harm's way and you know, accumulating debt or whatever to make sure your employees are okay, but by the same token, they're still people. You know, they don't have to be your friends, but you do have to treat them with respect, even though you're employing them. And if something
I've heard that's big with business is your employees, even if you're not making rent, paying your employees always comes first, because just because you aren't able to live properly doesn't mean you should bring 10 other people down with you.
Correct. Yep. 100% on board with that. And certainly the business owners that I've known in the past do that. I had a mate that had a business when he was really young. I think started it when he was maybe 25 and did it for 5 years. And he ended up selling it because he himself was not making any money, but he made sure that his employees were being paid. And they were getting paid a lot. You're talking 6 figures. So, you know, yeah, the business itself was doing all right. But he said once he paid his employees and he and his business partner were left to make a cut, his business partner would take a bit more than him, and he really didn't take that much at the end of the day, but he felt it was very important to make sure that they were taken care of before he worried about himself, which was a good attitude to have. But sadly, the business didn't. Or I don't know if it still runs. Maybe it does. He just sold his shares or his portion of the business. So yeah. You impress me, Mitch, whether it's in chat or when I speak to you. You're a very wise young man. You've got a good attitude. Yeah. I think we're very lucky that the DLG, the young members, are all the same. But even with, you know, Red December, she's the same as well. You've all got very good attitudes in life, which is heartwarming when you see people behave in a very different manner sometimes. If you catch my drift, there's some not so good people online, but you just stay away from them. That's the easiest solution. Just don't get involved. If they're doing things that you don't like, it's like, all right, fine, just go away. This whole time that I've been playing, I've managed to play a music box, and that's it. That is literally the only thing I've found in this game.
What was the name of the game?
Opus Castle. And I seem to just walk around in circles. Everything's starting to look familiar, but no matter which direction I take, I can go this way, I can go that way, and it doesn't lead me anywhere. Like that thing, I know I've been there. And then I come across here.
Oh, I'll give it a try here and see how far I can get in it. While it's downloading, I'm going to quickly get some more water.
Yep, no worries. I've got to say good luck with that, because I am getting nowhere. This was a music box room, was it? No, this was a torture room. All right, so that was the next topic, I suppose. Where do we move from here? I'm happy to talk about what goes on YouTube all day long. It's I find it quite fascinating that a platform like this, I personally think, has a lot of responsibility that they don't always not take advantage of, that they don't hold themselves accountable, and I believe that they should. They do need to start holding themselves accountable for how they... Is this that same... That is, it's a music box room. Ah! That's it. That's all it does. That is all it does. Well, I have to say hello, Peter. Good contribution for everyone. Hang on, Albeza. Just one more moment. Thanks for joining. So, put more in the chat. And Italian subtitles. Okay. Sorry, Albeza. Sometimes I forget to keep typing to you. Enter. Alright, so that's done. Actually, I might check to see how we've been going on the stream. How long's it? Oh, it's already been an hour and a half. So I'm happy to... Oh, Tizza's back. I was just about to say I'm happy to stop the stream, seeing as the chat quietened down a bit. So And to be honest, I'm really struggling to see what I'm supposed to do in this game, so it's probably not that entertaining to watch. But happy to keep chatting should you choose to do so, Tiz. Looking for more topics as well. We were just talking about Darman before. So it's basically the general topic was, you know, what kind of genres are influencing on YouTube? Are they good genres, bad genres, good creators, bad creators, that sort of thing? Because I do feel it's important to, particularly in this day and age, the effect that the internet has on people and society, particularly social media, things like YouTube, Instagram, whatever, it does have an effect on our society. Oh, you want to talk about EDP? We were talking, or briefly mentioned EDP before. So I can't remember where he's at now. Is he back? I think he's back on the platform yet again, or he's on TikTok or something like that. And my personal view is, look, I have no problem with him being deplatformed. Take him off the internet. He has proven that he can't be trusted. Does seem to have some obsession with certain ages. Do they know the company called Arcade 1-Up? No, I've never heard of that company. Tell me more. And also, if anyone is actually watching the game, let me know if there's some area I have not covered yet, because it looks like I've covered everything and I just have no idea. So I'm waiting to find out what this arcade company is and what they do. And also, Red, if you were wanting to talk about any other characters there, feel free to mention them as well. So I don't know if I've sort of shown like how much I've watched on YouTube, because I so far have known everyone that everyone's talking about. It's a company who license arcade machines. Oh, okay. So is this they do things like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man? This is what you're talking about with the arcade machines? Not necessarily those games, but they own the games and license them out to arcades? Is that what you're saying? Because, hey, I'll even talk about Billy Mitchell. He's been getting into a bit of controversy lately. I have a feeling that he is not going to survive his current court case. He's in a lot of trouble. And maybe I'm going to get Black Friday Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So is that the original Street Fighter? I like to watch YouTube shows about romance scammers like Social Catfish. That's been recommended to me too recently, Red. I've looked at a couple of those videos. They are interesting. I was watching one about this man, older man from America. He was kind of old. He was in his, I would say, 60s or 70s, and he got catfished by well, it wasn't, you don't know who catfished him, but it wasn't the real person, that's for sure. And they were very, very good at what they were doing. So Street Fighter 2. And do you plan on like setting those games up at home for yourself, Tiz? So you'll have like an arcade wall where you can just plug them in and play? Because I have seen it. Oh, welcome back. So we're doing two topics at the moment. Tiz is talking about arcade games, and Red's changed the topic to the catfish romance scammers on YouTube. So she's mentioned one channel called Social Catfish, and I was just
the problem as well with YouTube. I think it's gotten better, but YouTube comments that lead to scam. How do I phrase this? Like cam girl websites, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Ah, yes, yeah. So the one that I watched was kind of similar to that, but it wasn't a real cam girl. They were using AI technology to trick this guy. So, but although the fact that the guy could even be tricked by this, I just think, wow. So the story was like he met someone online in Facebook, and she was an extremely attractive Asian woman, and he is an old guy, like, you know, not retired, not good looking, not rich, really doesn't have anything going for him. So the first question you got to ask is to yourself is, why would someone like that be attracted to me as a complete stranger online? That should be a red flag alone. That this, and she said she was 25 and he's like 70. So there's a big gap. And then they would grab these photos. So the real story is they just stole some photos of a real Asian celebrity, and then they ran it through an AI program so that they could turn the photos into video. But it's real basic. It just sort of manipulates the picture a little bit to make it look like the person is moving or talking. And again, I think young people or anyone that's kind of aware of what AI can do these days would see that as a red flag as well. But for whatever reason, he didn't see any of that, and he thought, oh, you know, she's really in love with me, or whatever it was like. But then he also said stuff that I noticed in the comments, people were calling him out for it, saying they don't care that he got scammed because he just seemed like a really dirty old man to begin with. Like he wasn't, he obviously had his own objectives that had nothing to do with love. So yeah, he probably...
I'm trying out the game right now. Something I'm noticing is the camera shake is
bad.
Making me nauseous.
Oh, really? I didn't get that in this game. Was it Jackie Chan, as in the photo? No, as a female. They did mention who it was. Whoever the YouTuber was researched the photo and found out who the real person was there. And it had nothing to do with, you know, didn't even know who this guy was. So if you're playing the game, you don't have to keep playing it, Mitch, but if you actually find something that I can do other than opening that music box, that's the one and only thing I've done in an hour and a half.
How far have you gotten?
Nowhere. I just keep going around in circles. I think I've explored everywhere that you can explore. And other than the music box, there is literally nothing else to do.
Oh, I think I found the music box you're talking about. Okay.
See, that only took you, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah, I turned on the... Oh, you have to be so close to interact with things.
Oh, is it?
Let's see, I'm going to try... Like a book here. Is there anything with that? There's a pentagram on this book. I'm curious if that'll come into play later.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to say Tiz is off again. So thanks for joining back, Tiz. If you come back again, I'll certainly say hello. Sorry, I need to go, man. Have a lovely day, I think he was trying to say. And you too, as well. All the way from Austria. That's awesome. So I guess now that I was about to start talking about retro games, but that was more what he was into. So yeah, with the catfishing, be careful. You know, Mitch, you said you'd actually started dating someone, right? So you don't have to worry about any of that.
We're not together anymore. I broke up with her, I think it was last week.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but to be honest, you know, School's more important than anything else at the moment.
Yeah.
You don't.
I'm quite involved at school, which is good.
Yeah. You just want to make sure you don't get distracted. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to get to the point where whoever your partner is takes up more of your time than your actual studies, which I've seen happen to plenty of my friends when I was at school. Like, come on, man, you got to try and at least get some good grades rather than trying to get some good action. Yeah, so I must admit, when I broke up with my ex years ago, I ended up moving after we broke up. We had to, move out of the house, or we both moved out, and I ended up moving in with another girl, and I didn't, we didn't know each other, so it's just like a flatmate situation, and we ended up sort of becoming friends, and I feel bad for her. Not that she cared, but she sort of met me at the worst time in my life when I was, not happy. And she said, go and do the online dating. And I'm like, what? What's that? She's like, yeah, there's these websites that you can join. I've done it, and I've met people and, had a bit of a fling. And that's often a way to get over a relationship. So I thought, why not? And at least back then it was very effective for me, because you just send some emails, and if you can write well, then people are very likely to meet you if you sort of don't come across as someone that's just looking for one thing, or, trying to take advantage of people. But I must admit I did do naughty things as well. Don't do this, people, because I'm sure over the years other people have gotten a lot smarter, but I'd do write one email that looked like it was written to that person, but it was a bulk email that was sent. Hey, I saw your profile. I think I think we could be quite compatible based on your interests, and it's nothing specific, you know what I mean? So you can send that to 100 people and they all think it's meant for them, but it was effective.
I found the key.
What key?
I found the key.
Where is it?
I found the key.
How did you
go up to the bedroom area?
Oh jeez, I've got to find that now. I cannot believe you did that.
It's on the like a nightstand kind of thing. It's by the candles.
Oh, I've got to find that again. It's upstairs, right?
There we go. Yeah, it's in the upstairs area. Oh wow, okay.
Mitch, I might have to make a commitment with you for future streams to say, hey, this is not multiplayer, and I'm only playing PlayStation games lately. You get on there as well and cheat with me. Otherwise, I'd get you to play the games. I'd do a sniper wolf if I could.
I was about to say.
But to be honest, we actually thought of doing that, but we don't know any. We don't know any kids that live near us. Otherwise, it would have been an option. I've got a couple of friends that have children, but I don't know if they'd let me borrow them to play games. Okay, so I'm in the room. Mitch, you are a legend. How do I always seem like I'm crouching. Is there a way to stand? Oh.
The left joystick, if you press down on it.
Oh, right. Because I can barely... It's next to the music box, right?
No. The, white nightstand, it's kind of... It's got 2 books on it.
Oh, there. Okay.
By one of the candles, there's a key.
Oh, there's a key there! Haha, Mitch, you have got to be kidding me. And then, oh, did I take it? Oh, you just press X and that's it? My deepest apologies to everyone that's watched the live stream and seen me go around in circles again and again. We need Mitch to help be the genius in the game. Oh, there's a...
The problem is, I don't know what to do with the key. I can't
there's
find
a trapdoor
what
open.
Opens.
Oh, no, that's a trapdoor that we came up, isn't it? Does it work in that door? Doesn't work for that door. Does? I think it might be that one with the 3... See, there's something that's got like 3 bars. Oh, hang on. The water is looking like...
I found where it goes.
Oh, awesome.
I think it's a big, like, iron gate door.
That's what I thought it was going to be. Because that was the only one that made sound when you went up to it. But now I've got to find where that is. It's almost like we're playing at the same time. Yeah, going to the same area.
I'm a bit ahead, yeah.
I've just gone through that door, so...
Okay, this is a long cutscene.
Oh, wow,
what the...
It's so dark.
Oh, what?
This is so dark, Mitch, I can't see anything.
Yeah, I wish they had, like, a torch. Oh, I think I died. What?
I just got a message saying that thing was locked, but I can't really see it. Why would they...
Okay, I think I'm in the main part of the game now. There's like an intro playing.
How did you get... So once you open the door with a key, and it's...
There should be a door to the right on the right wall.
Damn, everything's...
But if you just interact with it, it'll trigger something. Yeah, I'm in the main part of the game now. Chapter 1.
Sorry, say that again, Mitch. There's a... I can see...
Here, let me look at the stream real quick. There's a ad playing that I've got to wait for.
Oh, thank you for the revenue.
Okay, go back to the iron door.
The one that I just opened?
Yeah.
So that's...
Okay, you're there.
Yep.
Turn on the right. Right there by the... Move forward by the torch on the wall. If you go back through the gate.
That one? Oh,
no, back through the gate.
Okay, and then torch on the wall. That door?
I think the door should be by the torch. Yeah, there you go. Right there.
I went to that one before.
Will it open? Do you press X?
Nope. Oh,
Oh, there you go.
Ah, Mitch, you're a legend.
Oh, there's like a smartphone.
You know what? Every pre-stream now, I'm gonna try and get you on Discord and say, what game are we playing today? Oh dear. I don't think anyone's actually going to watch this stream because they'll be like, why is he going around in circles? But no, wait, we've actually got somewhere. Nope, thumbnail. That's a, what are they called? The doctor.
Plague Doctor.
Black Plague Doctor, is it?
I think it's just Plague Doctor.
Plague Doctor. And even
cool. You can set backgrounds for your in-game phone.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Flashlight.
And Red
There's
December.
a browser that doesn't work.
Really? I thought.
I accidentally pressed quit game.
Oh no! No.
Why is quit game an option on the cell phone?
Send you the checklist together.
It's a bit weird. That's to open.
Use to navigate the smartphone to launch an app. Hang on, you said that you might have accidentally quit the game, so what should I be doing
I
here?
was able to get back in.
So am I just press to launch an app?
What the? There's a goat here that I get to... Oh. What? This game, the environments and, like, assets are kind of weird. The visuals, that's what I was looking for. Because it varies a lot. It feels like they took a lot of free assets and kind of just...
What? It's telling me to get to the smartphone. But
the dialogue also seems to be Google translated.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It seems to be like the dialogue, there's like weird inconsistencies with it that I'm guessing are for Google Translate.
Right. Oh, because when I did it, I made the settings English, so even though it's speaking in Spanish or Portuguese, everything I'm getting is in English. Take a walk in the city and enter the house. Where's that?
Take a walk in the city, I don't know what that means. I think that's another bad Google Translate job. Just go in the house.
Where's the house? Do I have to keep walking?
It's not that way, no, it's by where you... There's like there's a mansion sort of with a gate. I think you're walking the wrong way. There's nothing over there.
I'm still walking the wrong way?
It was by where you spawned. There should just be a...
then that's...
In that area, there should just be like a house with a gate.
Is that a house?
Yeah, right there, that one. The castle, sort of. If you keep walking the way you're walking, there you go.
Okay. Hello,
yeah, there's definitely Google Translate used in this, because, for example, a family picture, they look so close, it's hard to imagine that they murder each other.
Right. Okay, I've got to play with a goat. Oh, there's my goat. Is it? Hello,
this
goat.
clock looks like it came from really far away. Yeah, that's Google Translate. My grandma had one of these in 1930? Hold on.
What? I just killed the goat. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know I don't understand what happened there.
I didn't
the
mean
goat
to.
just kind of...
Well, it said leave the goat alone or keep playing with it or keep annoying it or whatever.
I kept pestering
yes,
it too. And
so did I. Don't pester the goat.
No, I am not. Oh, I tried to sprint and my character just said, no, I'm not going to run.
Hang on. Why do I need another key? It's saying press to open. The door handle's moving, but the door's not opening. I
think, yeah, if the door handle's moving and it's not opening, I think the door's locked. There's a little...
Hey, oh, hang on.
Can I interact with this light switch? Oh, I turned this light on. That did nothing. What do I do in the upstairs? None of the doors work.
You're the key master, that's for sure. Oh, hang on, it's not even closed. Can you see how it's... I can kind of see behind the door.
Do I have to interact with this lamp?
Let me in.
This game doesn't do this game kind of just assumes you know what's going on, which is a problem.
Thank you, Mitch. That makes me feel a lot better because I was thinking that too. It's given no instructions whatsoever.
That's a big problem with not having people like play test games. Wow, how strange some objects seem to be from different times. Tea set. It even smells good.
Does he? No,
weird. So I picked up the recording. What's the point of that?
There's another set of stairs there. Why would they have stairs there? No, that's not openable. Oh, I'm sorry, Gate. That's kind of gross. It didn't give me a notification saying this is the house though, or it definitely is.
Are there like text stuff? SMS.
Can we remove those bricks at all? No.
Oh, try turning on the light.
Turning on the light. Where's the light?
There's a light switch by where you entered. There has to be an object I'm supposed to interact with that I just can't find. The globe here, nothing to do with that.
Did you manage to turn on the light? I can't even find the light. Oh, I found it. There's a key. There's a key. Oh, I found a key! It's sitting on the chair, just next to the door.
Yeah, that one, I'm in the area you would be in right now, but I can't figure out exactly what I'm supposed to be doing here.
What, have you gotten in though? You got the key?
Yeah, I've gotten into this house, but none of the doors do anything. Like, the key doesn't go to any of them, which is odd.
Oh, it got me in that. It got me inside that building, but then there's just there's a stairwell that's blocked, so I can't go.
Oh, you can see through the keyhole.
Yeah. I said that before, and the key's right next to the door on a chair. Oh, there's a light switch.
There's like a little sliver there that I can see through, but I can't do anything.
So I'm in another section of the game now. It looks like it's loading. So at that entrance, there's a chair there. You grab the key, it'll work for that door. Then you've got to turn on the light switch. So there's a light.
Turn on the... Oh, I can see my character. Interact with the mirror.
Oh, you're further than I am. Hang on.
Yeah.
This clock looks like it came from really far away.
You'll be mine. Ooh, what? Yeah, you can interact with the mirror. Explore stairs, I guess. What does it mean, explore stairs? There's not much to be explored. It's a staircase. Okay. I'm up here now. What do I do? There's fog.
Did you check everything on that table? Because
this drawer's open. Yeah, you can interact with all the stuff on that table. Fog downstairs, house sinister. Oh wow, this game has some language. Wow.
I don't think I've gotten across that yet.
Couples.
So you've gone upstairs already, have you?
Interact with the mirror. There's nothing upstairs until you've done that. Yeah, there's a few F-bombs here and there.
Get used to that in these sorts of games, I guess.
There's a chest there. Oh, there's jewelry. Can I steal it? I can steal it. What's the point?
Hang on. Hang on, Mitch. You're getting way ahead of me. I haven't even found a mirror yet.
It's by the door, by the entrance of the house. It's like on one of the mirrors on like the wall.
Oh, do I have to go back outside, do you mean?
No. It's in the house. It's downstairs by like where the clock is and stuff.
Oh. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go back down.
There's knocking on the... I don't know if I want to answer that.
Oh, there's an arrow. That's what I look like. Okay.
Ugh. It's an ugly... Yeah, we don't have a... The character models in this game are not great.
Sorry, what's not great?
The character models.
Right. Which option should you choose? Explore room... Oh, I don't have much time.
I did upstairs.
Oh,
I don't know what the difference between all of them is.
I think I might have chosen the wrong option. Unless it lets me do something. Oh.
This game has some very long and boring cutscenes. This cutscene has been pretty much nothing for 30 seconds. I don't know how this adds to the story at all. Oh. What? Ooh.
Did you find another key to get those doors open upstairs?
No.
Did any?
But on the stairs there's like a dresser that once I looked in the mirror and chose upstairs, it opened for me.
Because I'm not sure how to get around this because it's not allowing me to do another option. So
What'd you choose?
The first one, explore downstairs, because I panicked.
Downstairs.
Because it gives you a time limit to choose, you know.
Was it just explore the stairs or explore downstairs?
I think from memory it was just explore the downstairs area. But I did that before, so it was kind of stupid to do that.
End of chapter 1. Okay, is there anything past that?
There won't be. From what I saw, if you go into the main part of the game, if you didn't buy it, it only does chapter 1.
Okay, yeah, that's the end of chapter 2. Buy.
Yeah.
You have to spend $5. Wow, that is expensive for a subpar, like, quick experience. Maybe the chapters afterwards are better. Never know.
The problem is, I didn't choose what you did, and it is not allowing me to choose anything else.
I'm reading the achievements right now. There's one called Party with No Limits, Drink Until Fall.
That sounds like fun. Drink responsibly.
That game is not a game that's going to be staying on my console.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be deleting it straight after this too. Which might be now, because unless there's a way around this, I can't end the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh. So, the downstairs area in the house.
Yeah.
You said you... Do you think it means, like a basement?
I didn't see a basement though.
Here, go back down the stairs to, like, the middle of the stairs.
Yeah.
Where there should be a little bit of, like, a dresser thing.
Yep. It's
Right there in the corner with the lamp on it.
Yeah.
Turn around. Is there anything, like, in the... Are you able to open the drawers or anything?
No.
No.
Oh, hang on, because you can crouch as well, can't you? How do you do that again?
When, press down on the left trigger.
That's right. No, there's a couple of shelves, but no drawer.
Okay.
I was so close to being able to finish this chapter 1.
Check out the, maybe the bookshelves downstairs have something? There's a whole, like, wall of bookshelves that might... Maybe... See if you can interact with them. Oh, wait. Did you find something?
Oh, wow, okay. You know what? Did you see that?
The thing falling.
Yeah, and now I've got a key pin. Looks like the same symbol as the door on the side of the mirror. So do I have to go back to the mirror? Oh, the door on the... Okay.
Oh, you got a different key pin than I got.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're doing a different, like, route than I am. Oh, yeah, because I went upstairs and went in a bedroom.
Why is there a baby on the table?
Oh. Oh, you can interact.
That baby stopped moving.
Too luxurious. It seems to have been posted recently. Yeah, the translation isn't great. Trying to figure out what that's supposed to mean. Is that one plate able to be interacted with? Oh, there's the one in the middle. Very delicious. Oh, I thought it said very delicious dishes for a second.
No, the cake. I'm getting hungry just looking at it.
Except it's probably months old in an abandoned house.
And there's a baby crawling on the table, so goodness knows how long that food's been there. Can I open that door? No.
Looked like you could interact with the turkey for a second there. I may have been seeing things.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, you are a legendary gamer. What is that? Yeah, I'll eat that.
Ooh, what happened there?
Something came out from... Yeah, watch this. Whatever that is. I don't know what that was. Well...
Oh, it looked like urine on for a second there. I thought I was quite confused.
It's not letting me eat it though. Oh, hang on. You can interact with everything individually. It looks like. That's another one. So
looks like, does everything do the same thing? You just throw up?
I don't know yet because you've got the whole table.
What about the wine bottles?
Yep, I'll do that one next.
Drink until fall. That might be the achievement.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep. Oh, Mitch, you are a legendary gamer. So one more, yeah, go on. Load me up again. I'm doing exactly what I told Mitch not to do.
Well, I mean, the older it is, the more valuable it is.
The wine.
Yeah.
It looks like some pretty
Ooh.
valuable wine then. Oh, what was that? Hang on. No, I just... Oh, there's a drawer there. What's that? Yeah, I'll take that. Hexagram. What is this for? I don't know what this... No? Oh, I've got the hexagram. Am I just going to keep drinking? Alright, I'm just going to have another bottle. I'm getting stressed.
You're like a college student.
I think I can handle one more, apparently. Alright, let's go for a party. Well, you think you can handle it, but I'm not actually getting close enough to be able to drink it. Alright, here we go.
I like thinking about like the logic behind the weird thing in games, like this room, which is a full table of food that could feed like 10 people.
Yeah.
Why is it just left there completely fine?
Because that baby is planning on growing on that food.
Oh, it's just gonna eat it all? Like how some bugs will like lay their eggs inside of other creatures.
So you're saying I've had too much now? Alright. Well then, do I have to... Glass maybe? What would you do with the glass? Or can I eat the turkey now? I'll try it again. Oh, you know what that urine was? That was vomiting.
That is vomiting, okay.
Yeah.
It does look like, it's because it's not properly, like, lined up with where the mouth would be.
Oh! You got me! I didn't expect that. I just jumped out of my seat.
What'd you do to get the jump scare there?
I drank and then I vomited. And then I ate.
I guess it must have been like a timed thing where eventually it just does it.
Yeah, well, I think that's what happened with the clock and the key as well, because I don't think I did anything to make the clock fall, and then the key just popped out. Geez, I haven't been gotten by a jump scare for a while. That was quite unexpected. Given that we've been playing for almost 2 hours and been nothing scary.
So, I used to be really scared of jump scares. I want to say I was like 8 or so.
Right.
But I really liked like Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I would play the games with the volume all the way down, completely muted, which means I had no clue what was going on in the game.
And did you play them at night with the lights closed, with the lights off?
No, I was too scared. Courage the Cowardly Dog scared me a ton when I was younger.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Stinky doesn't even like playing horror games. The jump scares get it every single time.
Back when I was younger, I want to say 5th grade, back when the whole Momo thing was going around, where the like hoax with the teen hackers or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yep.
So my school actually banned the word Momo, and if you caught it, if like you were heard saying it, you would get like an office referral.
Really? I actually heard...
I don't know what the logic behind that was, but...
So I heard something about that online, but I can't really remember, but they said something about it really was scaring younger people, and at one point the adults thought it was real, and that's why they banned it or something like that.
I'm guessing it was to stop, like, I don't know, hysteria might be the best word for that. Just spreading of the fear.
Bit like the Slender Man, really, isn't it?
A person would have to, like, flick their neck or something, and our school banned that. I can't remember the reasoning behind that as well. I think it was just to stop kids from hurting themselves.
Right. Yeah, it's not good when you have these things that aren't real that end up scaring little children. Alright, so I guess that's it for the stream, because I can't do anything else after this. So, first of all, thank you to everyone that joined the live stream in the chat. But of course, an extra big thank you for the master of all gaming, Mitch. Without your help, I would not have even been able to finish it. I wouldn't have even gotten past the first part.
Thanks for letting me come on stream.
No, it's a pleasure. Pleasure's all mine. And also, yeah, thanks for the topics as well. Hopefully we'll do this again. I'll try and stream next weekend as well. I know I've got to get back into it. So, actually I might get out of this just because it's so noisy. Alright, so you have an awesome rest of the weekend, Mitch, although I suppose you'll be going to bed soon. And Red, if you're still there... Oh, okay, it's not too late then. Good. Because we're in daylight savings now, so 7:45 is a 5-hour gap? 4-hour gap. My maths is so bad. 4-hour gap. Okay. That will give me a good time for next week. And I'll try and get Stinky to join as well. I think she's going to have next Sunday off or something like that. So I'll hopefully do it then. All right. So take care, Mitch. It was really good talking to you again. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, it was awesome. And to everyone else, have an awesome weekend as well. I've just got to figure out how to turn this live stream off. It's been so long. Thanks, Mitch. All right, see ya.